Uh, well, uh, I had a long day, but well, under any other circumstance, this would just be a Thursday night. But however, it's a special one because it's the day before 4th of July. So in another way, it's kind of like a Friday night because it's time. It's time for part two of round two. We got a doubleheader today as we have just two games left to go before we get to our semifinals. But I also want to say hello to Sly, Tenu, and of course AJ Cool Kid and Brandon Cornwell. Well, I'm happy to say. Let me just make sure. Yeah, I want to make sure I had the matchups right. So, I saw AJ was first among the owners that we have. Among the owners of the remaining teams that have yet to play, the first one I saw was AJ. So, AJ, would you like to go first? Or do you want to save your game as quote-unquote the main event? But either way is fine. Hey, what's up, Riley? How you doing, man? We'll see what AJ says, though. Oh, up to me? Well, okay. Well, I guess the next thing I can do is ask Brandon, since he's the other owner that's in the chat right now, whose team has yet to play. Though, granted, they got a first round bye. So, Brandon, do you want to play first? Sure. All right. So, of course, the Saints will be taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, it'd be one thing if you guys were against each other, but in this case, it's not. So, we'll just get right to it. So, and speaking of Brandon, aka Spike Ryan, he and Sly Cooper are in this next game. So, Sly Cooper, you are in time, my friend, to play. Okay, so sadly I don't have a way to contact Isaiah the King, but I can contact Joshua and Damien. So let me get those guys. Of course, the Buccaneers have the home field as they picked 8th in the draft, whereas the Saints picked 5th. So. Okay, Sly's ready. Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. AJ, you picked up Splatoon. Awesome, man. Yeah, I could probably just play for fun. Or I'll see who's streaming, and then I can go from there. Because I was gonna do 2 games and then more or less chill for the rest of the night. Okay. There we go. All right, so we have the Saint. All right, so let me just get the folks involved here. Okay, so let me get Damien and Joshua. Oh, okay. Oh, well, that works then. Oh, of course, I forgot to get the link. Well, this is a good chance for you guys to get snacks and stuff like that. But I may as well share with you guys as far as the NHL show or the next NHL season. I'll provide each of the general managers the list of people that are to be drafted. Now, I will say that there are 40 players on the roster, but 12 of them are GM, so 40 minus 12, that's 28 players that can be drafted. So I'll provide you guys the list after the show for the general managers, that is. Okay. But yeah, great to see Tennu here. Okay. Okay. Okay, and then let me get Mr. Shelley. All right, so I reached out to Maddie so that in turn she can reach out to her brother, and it was yeah. And then I'm gonna get Joker, Matt Storm, and Clinton. I don't have a way to contact King Ace though, so I'll let everybody else know. All right, let me get Mr. Matt Storm. And last but certainly not least, Clinton. Okay. All right. Now that I got or reached out to everybody I needed to reach out to, now let's truly start. Okay, let me make sure all the settings are correct. All right, cool. Okay. May the best team win. So, of course, the New Orleans Saints are going on the field of their NFC South rival, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So this truly is a divisional round game, to say the very least. Oh yeah, let me get my pop-out chat. But I hope everyone is doing well. Gosh! I got the top. Wow, I actually have the top fans.
It's a special prime time edition.
Oh my goodness.
On EA Sports.
Well, that's pretty cool that we have a leaderboard now. That's awesome. And there's also Carlos Larry. Well, Carlos, it's great to see you. I am happy to say that I actually found a spot for you in the NHL series that's upcoming, or the season, excuse me.
Buccaneers.
So I got you a spot there.
Carr and the New Orleans Saints.
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast.
Oh yeah, let me also turn on my.
Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa.
There we go. In case anyone's trying to call me. But great to see you there, Carlos.
As it'll be the New Orleans Saints.
And also, just before the show, I did make sure that all the people that are on the teams started. So I wanted to make sure that I, what's the word? That the people that are featured are in. Also, good luck to Sly and Brandon on behalf of the New Orleans Saints. But of course, may the best team win.
Certainly happy to have you along.
And in fact, the Saints will start with the ball.
And off we go here in Tampa.
Then we'll take it out.
Here's Rashid Shaheed.
Rashid Shaheed gets it to the 22. Not bad. All right, so I will go over who's on the field on offense for the Saints. So on offense, well, of course, we have the quarterback Derek Carr.
It's been fun to watch his development through the years, and right now,
but on the field for on offense for the Saints, you have an offensive guard in Damian Shelley, and you have Isaiah DeKing as offensive tackle. So of course, you have two guys that are going to do everything they can to protect, but also make running lanes for Alvin Kamara and all the other running backs as well.
Carr going to throw right away.
And a completion. And they get it to the 37, a 15-yard play.
A good start offensively.
Now, defensively, for the Buccaneers, there's only one player, and that is Clinton Flippin, who, of course, was obtained via free agency after what happened to the Packers. So he was picked up by Joker, and he is a defensive end. So we'll see if he can get to
one play has him to the 37
to Derek Carr.
1st and 10.
Oh, absolutely. Well, actually, don't forget, you are on the same team. Let's not forget that. Runs it away.
And that'll be good for 8 yards.
Nice run there by Williams for 8 yards.
You often say that sort of opens the playbook now.
There you see Shelley, number 69.
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot.
And, of course, Isaiah DeKing is 68.
Second and a couple. They fake the handoff. Now
Carr, bad throw. 3rd and 2.
As that one falls to the ground. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Here's Kamara.
They hand it off to Kamara, and he gets not much, but just enough
down up near midfield. A 3rd down
to get a first down at the 49.
A lot depended on the spot there, and he got it, but it wasn't by much, was it? I remember Coach Madden talking about, depending on which foot the official used, that would tell you whether you had the first down or not. You want that upfield.
Hey, Luis, what's up, man?
Ball,
how you doing? And Patty. Of course, Patty, I'm happy to say that you'll be featured in today's game as part of the doubleheader.
2 first downs have him up near
in the second game, of course, as quote-unquote the main event, which in many ways it is. And Kamara, well, Kamara gets only 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Well, I'm happy. If anything, I'm just happy that the day's done in terms of like work and everything. But who isn't really? But aside from that, I'm doing well.
Okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
All right, 2nd and 7. Nice short pass. However, they don't get the first down. It's 3rd and inches.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
But I have to give credit to Brandon, a.k.a. Spike Ryan, as he did pick up 2 guys that that would help his offensive line. And so far, it's paid dividends.
On play action.
Play action. A completion. And, well, that was about 3 yards. It was just enough for a first down.
Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long.
And there you see McCoy, obviously no relation to Blaze McCoy, though.
We'll take care of the end of this drive.
So from the 39 now,
all right, first and 10.
Now
Carr. Well, a completion, but we have a flag. Let's see what that flag is.
Nice pickup of 9 yards.
It is, what was it? Roughing the passer, and that's a bad penalty. And what that's going to do is that's going to put the Saints at the 15-yard line, first down, of course. But that'll put them at the 15-yard line. And now they're in the red zone.
And that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. First and 10. Into the red
Carr
zone. It's Carr.
Gets the open man. Oh, but he pushes his way through to get another first down, but this time at the 2. So now it's first and goal.
13 yards that time and another first down.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early first and goal.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road.
They hand it off.
Is not going anywhere.
And it's a no gain.
For no gain at the 2-yard line. Nothing at all on that one. It'll be second down. So stuffed from the 2. Now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Williams.
They hand it off to Williams. Williams goes around to the right and is able to power his way through for a touchdown. New Orleans.
Coming right at the start of a game, but that was some statement there.
Oh, of course, the Cooper gang watching from the stands. I believe they're watching in. Wait, are they in the suite or are they watching like front row or I imagine they're probably watching on the New Orleans side of the field. I know that. Extra point is good, so now it's 7-0 at New Orleans. Touchdown.
So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was Jamal Williams who ended things with a touchdown run.
Well, Dennis Allen very happy with his team. Of course, I forget his name. Let me look it up a little bit.
After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And makes it across the 20.
Well, it gets to the 23 this time.
Shop at the 23-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. Orchestrating the offense will be the top pick in the 2018 draft, and that's Baker Mayfield.
And he's a guy who plays with a lot of emotion. He's learned how to channel it really positively, because when he throws the football downfield and makes a big play, he'll be the first guy downfield to celebrate with you. But also, when his team needs that confidence, when they need that jolt, they turn to him, and he's ready to provide it.
Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10 at their own 23.
Doing good, just a bit tired. Well, hey, it's all good. Ooh, nice completion there.
out right at the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, you know, prior to this
Oh,
game,
Todd Bowles, that's
like
the name of the coach. I was
in.
looking for the name of the coach. I just couldn't think of him.
Was,
but anyway,
give up some points in this game, so
I'll go over who is on offense for the Buccaneers and defense for the New Orleans Saints. So on offense, you have at offensive guard, King Ace, offensive tackle, Matt Storm, and believe it or not, Joker is a wide receiver. Hard to fathom, but it's true. And then, of course, on defense, I'll get to them in a moment. And a first down for Tampa Bay by White. On defense, you have at strong safety, originally, Spike, I had you at a linebacker, middle linebacker, but then I realized, oh, wait a minute, that position's already taken care of. So then I had to move you to another position, and it turned out that strong safety was in need, so I put you there. So you have Spike Ryan at strong safety, and then of course you have the linebacking core of Joshua James and Sly Cooper.
Mayfield looks to throw. Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete.
Well, nice completion there by Godwin.
Second and 2.
Chris Godwin, you know, him and Evans are the two greatest wide receivers that the Buccaneers have ever had. No cap. That's true. They hand it off. Although he probably should have ran to the right, because the fact that he went back to the middle was not a good run. Well, now it's a 3rd and 2. There you see Joshua James, number 95.
That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game, because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback.
They're going to go for the – they're going to run to the right. They don't get a lot, but they got just enough for the first down.
They're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
You know, it was tough for them to stand on the sidelines and watch the other team take it downfield and score, wasn't it? So they knew when they got on the field, it's on them. Pick up first downs, get downfield and score. How about them picking up that 3rd and short?
I was just going to say, you and I were talking before the game, those 3rd down conversions are going to be huge in this one.
They hand it off. Well, so far they haven't been able to stop the run. Have New Orleans? They're going to have to. They're going to have to step up their game or come up with a different plan, because right now Tampa Bay is just going to run it down.
He's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
From the 35, back to work on second.
All right, second and 4, excuse me, at the 35. Mayfield. Incomplete. How much does corn cost in Tampa? I'm not sure. I imagine it costs about as much as it does where I live or where you guys live. I'm not sure. I don't even know if that was a joke or not, but if it was a joke, then, well, I didn't know that. And back-to-back passes. I guess they went for the pass just because they didn't want to be too predictable, which is understandable. But
I guess every team would say that, Charles. But
yeah, that was not good. I mean, of course, at around the time that this game came out,
they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Baker Mayfield was kind of at a low point in his career. A buck an ear. Oh, okay. Okay, that is actually funny. Okay.
And this one is no good.
No good.
And this will stay at a 7-point
wow.
game.
Well, in any event, the Buccaneers don't get any points at all.
Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road, so getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here.
And a completion by David, not David Carr.
Going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
Derek Carr, sorry. David is his older brother. I forgot to mention that. But no, Derek got the first down. All right, 1st and 10 at the 45. They hand it off, and Kamara gets 4 yards.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
All right, 2nd and 6. They hand it off. Williams powers his way through for another 4 yards. 3rd and 2. And we have a 2-minute warning. So they're at the 37-yard line as they approach the end zone. Well, there's Isaiah, number 68.
3rd and 2. Now
Carr. And another completion. Carr is 7 for 8 for 69 yards. Shaheed with his second reception.
I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't.
Now at the 26.
But since they did, I guess the point is moved.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. On 1st down, Carr.
And Carr, well defended this time.
Play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
I want to say that was Clinton who came up with it. Of course, Clinton is not your standard defensive end. I mean, of course, what he lacks in power, he more than makes up for in speed. So if you don't cover him, he'll get you. All right, 2nd and 10.
He'll look to throw.
And another completion for a 1st down at the 11. Or to the 11, rather.
The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a 1st down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Carr gonna throw.
All right, Carr. And, ooh, that could have been picked off, but it's incomplete.
Surprising your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Here's 2nd and 10.
All right, 2nd and 10.
Now Carr again.
All right, Carr. He held on to the ball too long.
The pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. The Saints going to call the.
I mean, of course, you have to credit the Saints for being able to cover every one of Carr's targets that he just stood in the pocket. He couldn't find anybody, or that he was hoping for somebody to break open.
9th play of the drive now on 3rd.
All right, 3rd and 24.
From the gun, it's Carr.
And another incompletion. Man.
I know coaches tell us all the time.
Well, that sack really did him in.
They look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So
all right, now time to bring out the field goal unit.
Field goal. This from 42 yards out. And his kick is right
and
there.
It's good. 10-0.
And that will extend their lead even further.
Hey, what's up, Jamar? How you doing, man?
So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 2-score lead.
You'd like the 6 there, partner, but you'll take the 3, and I think they have to be happy about the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
That's good to know. Hey, that's awesome, man. Well, Jamar, I will say that you had a game in what was part 1. It was released on Monday, so if you want to go watch that game, you're more than welcome to. But it's good to see you, though, too. All right. And they'll get him down at the 24.
Well, the Bucs going to take over now late in this first half. They're certainly in
well,
need of
here's Baker Mayfield, and he'll look to get past that first drive that resulted in a shutout there. So he'll look to redeem himself and get a touchdown, if not a field goal to get to within 1.
First and 10, Mayfield.
They get a quick pass and a timeout taken up.
The first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now 2nd and 3. Here's Mayfield.
Mayfield with another completion. And another timeout used. I mean, I understand that they are under a minute, but you got to be able to use. You got to be able to save your timeouts. If not, get plays closer to the sidelines so you can get out of bounds to stop the clock if need be. And obviously, if you're New Orleans, you just have to prevent a long ball or giving up a touchdown, if you will. Well, a completion to Joker, and they get it to midfield.
Taken down right at the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 20.
Well, now let's see if they can line up quickly. All right, timeout at 21 seconds.
Third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And again, it's Mayfield.
Mayfield. Going to run out of the pocket. And, well, he passes it, but nothing going. However, it does stop the clock at 14, so 14 seconds, that is.
Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
2nd and 10.
All right, 2nd and 10. Oh, fumble!
And this ball recovered by the offense, but remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes.
Well, they force a fumble, and even though Tampa Bay recovered it, it does, however, lead to the time running out. And the Saints force, or not force, but they prevent any further points from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to be scored, or they prevent a score, I should say.
Downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports halftime report.
Well, I will say that the defense really did a great job
welcome everyone back
against the Tampa Bay offense. Right now, New Orleans has the momentum. But as we all know, there's every sport outside of hockey, of course, that is always a tale of two halves. So we'll see if this holds up, or if it's going to be a close game, or rather if it's going to be a blowout. We'll see. Tampa Bay will start out with the ball this time.
Is our score as we get started again on EA Sports.
So New Orleans will have to go back on defense.
This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be tackled just
and taken out or taken down to the 24-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin this third quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter three.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to.
All right, 1st and 10 at the 24.
They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up.
And an incompletion.
And that'll be off the mark, too far
Mayfield just is just not going good today. Just not going strong.
He wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Now Mayfield.
And a completion this time for 7 yards. 3rd and 3 at the 31.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride.
Well, for Tampa Bay, they need this in order to keep the drive alive and continue their chances of winning. And obviously, if you're New Orleans, you want to get the stop. But in this case, they don't. It's a 1st down at the 34. Got it to Otten for his 2nd reception.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains, because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
They should run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down.
All right, so 1st and 10 at the 34. They hand it off. However, New Orleans anticipated a run, and that's going to be a loss of 3 yards by Shepard. So great job by New Orleans.
Case in point right there.
And of course, the offensive coordinator not too happy with the fact that Shepard was able to cut off White before White could even make a move. 2nd and 13 at the 31.
2nd and 13. To throw, Mayfield. There's a short one.
And, well, only 3 yards for that one. Now it's 3rd and 10.
And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defense is.
Anyway, there you see Joshua James, number 95.
Not much run after the catch.
3rd down and 10. Looking to throw.
And, well, that is a completion, but it is well short of a 1st down.
3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, once again, that's 0 for 3 for Tampa Bay, or rather its offense, and 3 for 3 for New Orleans defense.
On 4th down, the punt team is on.
Credit where credit's due as far as New Orleans defense is concerned. Hopefully we'll get a word from either Brandon or Sly as to just acknowledge the fact that those two guys and Joshua and the rest of the defense have done a great job in posting a shutout thus far.
Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of
they run it to the left,
already in this game,
and they get a first down
We'll see if they take the
all the way to
advice
the
of Mr.
33.
Davis. Give them 13 yards on the
13
opening
yards
play
on
of the
that run
and also give
by
them a first
Kamara.
down. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the two tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out in the running game.
That's the value of teamwork. You know what? That is true. That is absolutely true.
Again, it's Kamara.
They run to the left again, although this time Kamara trips a little bit and only gets 4 yards that time. But yeah, you guys did a great job like covering for each other. I mean, of course, Sly, being that you are a linebacker, you're very versatile. You can cover. You're able to cover against the pass and protect against the run, but also help with the defensive line in order to get to the quarterback.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here.
You know, same thing with Joshua, and then Spike. He's there to, he's there to cover anybody. As far as the wide receiver as well as the tight end.
They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And he's got the first down.
And Kamara gets another short run, but just enough for a first down.
Able to convert with a gain of 4.
Well, it wasn't a goal line situation, but how about the goal line formation on 3rd and short? They went in and went heavy.
In fact, one thing I noticed, Sly, is that being that you're a linebacker, I noticed that you got this.
Hat on a hat, drive forward. Nice job to pick it up.
I noticed that you've been pumping some iron. So there you go. I'm pretty sure Carmelita notices, though.
So after 2 first downs,
can I be the cameraman?
First and 10 at the 45.
Well, I guess you could, but
now a play fake. Carr.
I forget who's the plate man.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on to.
Because I have seen you before.
Brings up 2nd down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides.
This is only the second time I've seen the plate man. You were a plate? Well, how can a plate talk?
Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. 3rd quarter, second and 10
I definitely noticed.
They'll run out of the gun here.
Williams gets away from a couple of tacklers, but he only manages to get 2 yards on that. Well, it looks like Tampa Bay is dialing in on the run, so New Orleans is going to have to either get a pass off, or if they are going to run, they're going to have to come up with something more creative. And for Tampa Bay, they've got to get the stop if they're going to have any chance of winning here. A completion, gets away. He broke away from one tackle and manages to get the first down at the 39. That keeps the drive alive to Chris Olave.
To get going, a little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Working from the gun, it's Carr.
Carr with a completion. Ooh, that was a very tough tackle there. So a 5-yard gain, 2nd and 5 coming up.
What's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver, that makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Let's see. All right, well, they don't get the next play off, so we're going to go to the fourth quarter. At the end of 3, it is still 10-0. New Orleans.
From the 34-yard line, here's second down and 5. Back to the ground, it's Kamara.
And Kamara gets another first down. So far, Kamara has proven to be the difference, as Tampa Bay, for the most part, cannot stop the run.
Gotta tell you, partner, when you're trying to salt away a game,
and whenever New Orleans had to, mix in a pass play or two, Carr has been able to hold up his end. But you also have to think, Isaiah and Damian Shelley for the protection, especially on the left side of the center.
On play action, it's Carr.
And ooh, that almost got picked off.
That's knocked down and incomplete.
Second and 10. That could have been bad, because that could have given them the ball back. It could have stopped them, and then that might have been a pick six, but we'll never know.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up second and 10. Back to throw.
And Carr with the intercepted.
Maybe the turning point they need. And the Bucs are
I mean, I just called it, but it happened one play later, and Tampa Bay now takes over at the 26. That was the one thing, if you were the Saints, that was the one thing you didn't want to do, was to give up the ball like that. Well, now it's up to the defense to get the stop. The only saving grace is that they're up by 2 scores, meaning Tampa Bay would have to score a touchdown or a field goal, but then the second time they have to score a touchdown anyway, or, well, it depends on what they score first. But they got to score something. If they don't, it's over, especially with the amount of time that's left. Mayfield, a completion, and a first down at the 37.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, and they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on first and 10.
And wait, did they get that? No, it was out of bounds. For a moment, I thought they had caught it. I thought it was caught, but it wasn't.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Now a second and 10. They'll set up to throw.
Mayfield with a completion this time, and Evans gets it for 7 yards this time, and forced out of bounds to stop the clock. Agreed, Brandon?
Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
Let me see.
It's time for someone to make a play, because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
Mayfield with it once more.
You know what? I just thought of something. I haven't seen Isaiah, especially since, I want to say, the go home show for Blue Toad Mania. I haven't seen to take his place. He'll still play the same position, but I'm like, maybe I should bring someone new. Just a thought. Anyway, back in character now. First and 10 at the 43 after past midfield. They hand it off. And they get to the 27. Well, this time White is finally getting a breakthrough. Well, if you're Tampa Bay, you would much rather score a touchdown and get it to within 3 than score a field goal than have to get a touchdown. But a touchdown at this point would open up a lot more options than just a field goal. However, time is running out.
A first down throw for Mayfield.
Mayfield.
Over the middle, it's complete.
And a 6-yard gain. Second and 4.
Second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here now, 2nd and 4.
Mayfield hands it off.
And that didn't fool anyone.
And
He's gonna be dropped in the
that's going to
backfield.
result in a loss of a yard.
The trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
All right, 3rd and 5 at the 22. And 2-minute warning. It is still 10-0 New Orleans with 2 minutes left.
As we welcome you back, they face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield.
Mayfield, a completion to who else? Joker. And Tampa Bay finally gets on the board. And an extra point away from making it a 3-point game. Well, not so fast. It's not over yet. But the interception led to a touchdown. So instead of this being over, now we have ourselves a game. Yeah, absolutely true there, Larry.
On the other side, get that hands team.
It's absolutely true.
No doubt about it.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And he'll elect not to return this one. So
all right, so New Orleans is going to take the knee and go to the 25.
Set to take over. And this game not quite over yet.
Well, for New Orleans, it's very simple. You gotta run out the clock, and one of the ways you do that is by making first downs.
To get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
If they could just hold on to the ball and not give it up, New Orleans will hold on and they will win. They will win. They will run it, and they get set. They get 3 yards. That's one timeout used up by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. He's going to get it again.
And another run.
Protect the ball.
And another timeout used up.
Their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's 3rd and 3.
3rd and 3. They hand it off, but Kamara this time goes backwards. Well, the Buccaneers have used up all their timeouts, but the more important thing for them is that now Tampa Bay is going to get the ball back, and they'll have 1:44 to work with. So once again, it is up to the New Orleans defense to get the job done.
As he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon.
Punts it away. Well, they'll get it to the 25, and that's where they'll have to start.
And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. So Mayfield and the Bucs down 10-7.
So situation's very simple. A field goal will tie the game. And yes, you're right. A touchdown will win it. Anything short of that, and New Orleans will hold on and win. Mayfield throws it and finds the open man, and they get near 25 yards. That's 24 yards to Godwin, and that's a huge play as they get near midfield.
Plenty of time to work with here, but the timeouts, they're gone. Here's 1st and 10.
1st and 10, a short pass. Well, 2nd and 6, not bad, but they got to get through these. They got to line up very quickly. They only have less than a minute to go.
Second and 6 coming up. Mayfield
fakes the handoff. Mayfield trying to find somebody. He's going to go long. Did he get it? He caught it! I don't believe it! What a catch! What a catch by Evans!
Big drive late in the 4th quarter to take this lead.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, what a catch indeed! Look at this.
Really excited to have their defense go back out there because they haven't surrendered a point in the 4th quarter yet. They've helped make this comeback possible with their defensive play.
Yeah, unbelievable. Much to the chagrin of Spike Ryan. For much of the game, for 3 quarters, Tampa Bay couldn't score anything, and already they'd scored 2 touchdowns in the 4th. But now, New Orleans has 37 seconds to work with. And, okay, come on, camera guy. What are you doing?
Just 3 plays. And it's capped off by the late touchdown that puts him out in
I apologize for the flickering lights, but come on, cameraman. Well, now New Orleans has 37 seconds. They do have all 3 timeouts, so they have that working for them, but... Oh. Sorry about that.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off.
All right, so they'll start at the 25. They want to preserve as much time as they can. Well, now it's going to be up to the offense to get the job done. So now the shoe is on the other foot in that it's up to New Orleans to get down the field and score a touchdown. A field goal will not do them any good.
Totally. Or maybe I just need
No,
to get out
no.
of the game for a while because I
They're
just can't
down by
slow these
4,
guys
so
down.
a
They've
field goal
gotta
is only good
figure
for
out a
3
way
points.
to
So,
disrupt these offenses.
so in this
And
case, a
typically,
touchdown is
one
what
guy
will win
makes a
it.
big play, and
They
that can
can't
help
tie.
change
They have
things.
to go for the touchdown.
Disruption on both sides right now.
And
The first play
incomplete.
of the drive there is incomplete.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath because that's what they're doing down the field.
All right,
now.
second and 10,
Incompletion,
33
allow them to
seconds.
exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
Just over 30 seconds remain. Here's second and 10 now. Throwing his car.
Carr.
He's got
Well,
Johnson.
a
And he will
2-yard
get out of bounds.
gain,
That stops the
but
clock
at least he
for
goes out of
2-yard
bounds, so it's
gains.
29
Definitely
seconds.
not what you're looking
But they got to go for,
this
they got to
juncture.
get some big chunk yards, though.
The design, but I think he may have waited a little too long to spot his man because if you're going to run that drag route, you've got to put it on him and let him turn upfield. Instead, he waits until his receiver's too close to the sideline and they don't get the yards after the catch.
Now Carr.
All right, Carr.
Now
Oh, he's going to go long.
throw deep
And
downfield.
he caught it. I don't believe it. Another long ball. And a timeout used up with 22 seconds left.
As they stop it with 22
Wow.
seconds to go in the fourth.
Now they're at the 18-yard line, and what a catch by Chris Olave. Well, 22 seconds, two timeouts,
Still in their back
18
pocket.
yards.
It's first and 10. Here's Carr.
Carr gets it.
To Williams out of the
Gets it to
backfield.
Williams. Did he get a first down? No, he didn't, but a timeout used up. Second and inches with 16 seconds now.
Remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Now second down and a few inches. Carr to throw.
Carr gets a completion, and that's another timeout used up.
Now the Saints will use their third and
Well,
final timeout. As
now they have
stop it with
13 seconds,
13
and it's a first and goal
left
at
to
the
play.
4. Well, for New Orleans, they might have time to run maybe one or two plays, but let's see what they do. This could be the game here. Carr did it! Carr finds the open man!
Here in the closing stages.
And New Orleans regains the lead as they got it to Shaheed with 9 seconds left.
So well, and they grabbed that lead with almost no time left for a last gasp from the other side.
No way you could have drawn up a better final drive because not only did they keep their eyes on the end zone, but they made sure they
Wow.
out as well and denied their opponent a chance to respond.
I mean, the game was kind of one-sided until the fourth quarter, and then this happens.
Point here to stretch this lead to a field
Well, no,
goal.
they have 9 seconds, but that's all they have. But they have no timeouts, though.
He's got it. And this is
All right, so
indeed up to a
17-14.
3-point lead.
So,
So that drive,
for Tampa
6
Bay,
plays, 75 yards.
a field goal will tie it, but the thing is, they don't have any timeouts, so they got to get down or get as far as they can down the field if they're going to have a shot at a field goal. But yeah, they have no timeouts, though. What a game, folks.
After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away.
Okay. They'll get it to
Solid return, pretty good
the
field
32.
position. They'll
Not a
start
bad
at the
not a bad
32.
return. However, they have 5 seconds. So at this point, if you're New Orleans, you just have to avoid giving up the touchdown. That's all you have to do. And if you're Tampa Bay, you just have to go for it. You have no other choice. 5 seconds left.
One last shot for Mayfield here.
Mayfield's going to go. And, oh, well, it's tipped up and intercepted, and that's going to close it out. And it was intercepted by, I didn't see who picked it. I think that was Spike Ryan, but man, Tampa Bay took the lead at 14-10. But then New Orleans gets a touchdown with 9 seconds left to regain the lead and win the game. Hopefully we'll get a word from Sly and Spike Ryan. But give both teams credit. Neither team gave up, and it came down to the finish. It came down to the end. Awesome.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Hey, what's up, cat dogs?
Log on to easports.com. With that, we bid you good night from Tampa.
Anyway, hello, cat dogs. Wow. What a game, folks. So while Baker Mayfield had the better game, more yards, had a higher completion percentage, and had 2 touchdowns to 1. And then, of course, each man had an interception, though. Of course, you have Alvin Kamara with 52 yards, but then you have Jamal Adams with the touchdown. My vacation's been well. I had a fun time, actually. I had a fun time at Earth, Wind, and Fire. Yes, you heard right. Earth, Wind, and Fire. Mike Evans had 6 receptions. Chris Olave had the most yards. And both him and Brooklyn Joker averaged the most per reception. Joker had a touchdown, as did Mike Evans and Rashid Shaheed. So, yeah, Ramsick and Matt Storm each allowed a sack. Demario Davis had the most tackles. 3 men, including Sly Cooper, got a tackle for loss, which is good, which is a good stat. And then, of course, Yaya Dabi had a full sack. And, yep, Spike Ryan got an interception. Okay, well, there's the kicking and the punting. Each guy did pretty well, pretty standard. Very nice. Well, now the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have been eliminated. There we go. And AJ, you're just in time for the second game. But first, let me update my my Excel sheet. But as it stands, the only team that had a free agent pick left was Joker and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But of course, they just got eliminated, so that free agent pick will carry over into next year, into the next draft, next year. But that I can't even talk. But that now means that whoever's left is whoever's left. About as simple and plain as I can make it. Also, hello to Blizzard the Wolf. As we go into our next game, let's do that. So it's going to be the Dolphins against the Ravens. course, the Ravens have the second highest seed. Okay. So with all that, I am going to let the folks in this game know. Starting with the Dolphins, AJ's here. I want to say AJ's here. I'm here. Well, of course, I'm the host. Patty's here. So, yeah, Patty, it's showtime. So then I'll have to get Triple B and Gregory, and we'll go from there. Yep, Patty's here. Okay. And then let me get... yeah, great game. I mean, yep, AJ's here. All right, let me get Dragonheart. Okay, so I got Triple B and Dragonheart. Now let me get the Baltimore Ravens. Sadly, I don't have a way to contact even the GM, Monty Mulshawn, but I can get the other guys, so let me get those guys. So this is a good chance for you guys to go get snacks and stuff like that, so go for it, my friends. Okay, got one. Let me get another. Okay, got another one. All right, and I'm also resting my voice a little bit, especially after that finish. Incredible, man. Okay, who else? Oh, yeah. 2 more people, and then we'll get started. Not a problem there, Mr. Cornwell. And then, and who else was I forgetting? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now I got everybody I needed to reach out. I apologize, folks. That's really the only bad thing about having to reach out, but it is what it is. All right, let's continue. So, of course, the Ravens, as mentioned before, have the high seed. But this is going to be an amazing game. I look forward to it. And truthfully, it really does deserve its main event spot. But on the other hand, you know, either game could have been the main event. But that last game, that first game was incredible. It really was. Well, let's see how this game stacks up. And good luck to AJ, good luck to Patty, and good luck to the Dolphins, as well as good luck to the Baltimore Ravens. So. Let's give it our... I think you might say our... Let's give it our best. Yep. I imagine that's probably what you meant to say. But I can see that. I can see it. Are all... Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Tonight, from M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports.
Hey, Brooklyn Joker, what's up? Joker, you just missed your game, man. It was the first game, so if you want to go check it out, you can. But anyway, nice to have you on the show there, Joker.
We'll see Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens taking on Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins.
With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland.
Well, only in Baltimore will we have this game. You're at work into 5 in the morning. Oh, okay, not a problem. You could always watch the show off camera, but it's great to see you there, Joker. Well, it looks like Baltimore's going to start with the ball.
The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Well, they'll take the knee to start out with. All right, so I'll just quickly start with the one special teamer that is on the field, and that is the punter slash kicker, Patty Chase, for the Miami Dolphins. Now, as far as the Baltimore Ravens are concerned, of course you have Lamar Jackson, because of course you do. Now, on offense, you have at center, Switch Gaming, and of course you have two wide receivers in Cherry Moy and Dakota Shelton. Of course, Dakota replaces a roster member who I haven't seen in the chat for a long time, so basically Dakota just inherited that spot from someone I hadn't seen in a while, so that's how Dakota got in. Yeah, I hope Switch will come, especially since he's actually in this game, Cat Dogs. But yeah, he's the center, i.e. the guy that snaps the ball to the quarterback. And on defense, for the Miami Dolphins, you have only one defensive player, and that man is A.J. Cool Kid.
A loss of a yard there to start out.
So a loss of a yard to start with. 2nd and 11. They run it again. And this time a first down by Edwards.
It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front.
Well, first down for Baltimore at the 35.
Long night for the defense, because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
They hand it off again. And this time, Justice Hill only gets 1 yard. Well, of course, Baltimore's going to have to mix and match passes along with runs, because if they just run it, you know, Miami can just key on it and be done with it.
They also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Fakes the handoff. Jackson. And a first down. And who catches it? Cherry Moy. Yes. The Monty Mole Queen gets her first completion, or reception, I should say. Excuse me.
And put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Although I kind of wish I could contact Monty Molshan.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 47. To throw is Jackson.
Jackson, incomplete.
Off the mark, too far out in front.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now it's Jackson.
And Jackson with another completion. And this time it's to Dakota Shelton. For 16 yards.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
All right, so 1st and 10 at the 31. Miami's going to have to come up with a big play, if nothing else, just to limit it to a field goal. Of course, Baltimore wants to get a touchdown, and they are poised to do it. A touch pass to Cherry, and another first down.
12 more yards there and another first down.
And that's something you have to get ready for defensively, because in today's
so far, Cherry
teams will use
already doing some damage here.
Sweeps, end arounds, they'll move them back in the backfield and make them running backs. Partner, this was much more of a tap pass, but effective nonetheless.
And I think both guys love it. If you're a quarterback, it's an easy completion. If you're a wide receiver, you get the easy reception and also a chance.
And another first down.
The Ravens are going to have a first and goal as he'll be
a first and goal
at the 7-yard line.
at the 7.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays.
And Dakota gets
right down the field, and
the
like
second
that,
reception.
He'll be set up with a first and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. First and goal. They'll try to pound it in with
hands it up, but that's going to result in a loss of a yard. Well, I'll tell you what, though, if Miami can limit it to a field goal, then it would be a success, because you only just give up 3 points instead of 7.
Was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
All right, 2nd and goal at the 8. There you see AJ, number 95.
2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
Well, I will say this, though. I do look forward to getting the PS5 version of this game. Oh, wait, we got a flag, and Lamar's going to run it himself. Now, we're going to find out what that flag is. So we're going to find out if the touchdown is going to stand or if it's going to get called back. It's a hold against the offense. That's going to come back. That's going to come back, and that's going to be put at the 18-yard line. So instead of a touchdown, no touchdown, and then you get sent back 18 yards. And why is the team celebrating? They didn't score anything. Or did they not hear the call? Well, I guess they now found out about it. Okay. Now they're at the 18-yard line. They hand it off. Well, now it's 3rd and goal at the 14. So now instead of it being very close to the... Now instead of it being right at the line, if not a touchdown, it's now at the 14-yard line.
That type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
And a deflection that results in an incompletion. Well, I'll tell you what, though, Miami bent, but it did not break. And then when Baltimore scored what we thought was a touchdown, it got called back.
Weren't able to do so on that play.
All right, well, here comes Justin Tucker.
Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. Tucker's kick is good.
Well, the kick is good, and that is going to result in a 3-0 lead for the Ravens. But no, this is on the PS4, but I'm saying I'm looking forward to getting a PS5 and getting the next edition after this season there, Cat Dogs.
You're exactly right. They didn't get the touchdown, but 3 points serves as a nice notice about how this offense is going to move.
Yep.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And he brings us out past
all right, so the Dolphins will start at the 24. All right. Well, we're going to see if they can match. If not, go ahead with if they will match with a field goal or take the lead with a touchdown. All right, so on offense, we, of course, will start with Tua Tagovailoa. But Tua comes on in, and on offense, you have at guard, triple beat, at offensive tackle, Dragonheart, Gregory Blakely. And at tight end, your boy, TJ. Yes, I am a tight end. Meanwhile, the defensive players include at defensive tackle, Monty Molshawn, and linebacker, Mario Party Brandon. And a 22-yard play for the Dolphins.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
All right, so they hand it off. So Mostert gets a no gain. And at the end of one, it is 3-0 Baltimore.
It's Dolphins football here as we begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Here's Tua.
All right, Tua throws it off and gets the open man. And gets it to Jalen Waddle. And now they get past midfield to the 34.
19 yards the pick.
A 19-yard play. Incredible.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And I see that Patty is now on the leaderboard at number 3. And it's based on how often you speak in the chat. So crazy Patty. Fakes the handoff. And Tua with another completion. And he gets it to I can't see his name. Oh, that was Tyreek Hill for 22 yards. Okay. I couldn't see his name. And, of course, Triple B doing a great job providing protection for Tua, number 62. Anyway, there you see Brandon, number 57. I can't talk. 57, Brandon, is out there. 1st and 10, and for Baltimore, they're going to look to do the same to Miami, but Miami wants to get it in. And they get it to the 1. 1st and goal at the 1. Another completion to Tyreek Hill. There you see Sean.
How did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
They hand it off, and it's a touchdown, Miami, to Mostert. Mostert punches it in.
Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles,
and Miami will take the lead 6-3 with an extra point upcoming.
Touchdown. And partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play. And actually,
well, to Miami's credit, they punched it in. I mean, of course you have Triple B, and of course you have Terrell Armstead doing a great job on the left side to give Mostert just enough to punch it in. Great job by everybody involved. And now Patty kicks it, and it's good. So Patty gets 1 point, well, the extra point. So Patty is responsible for 1 point. But those points do add up. We all know how Patty is clutch. We have seen Patty win a Super Bowl, 2 seasons ago, and that was with the Cowboys. Of course, Patty now has... of course, Patty, with her experience, will definitely help Miami, especially as they move down, move into the semifinals and to the Super Bowl should they make it. So her experience is invaluable.
And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys.
And, of course, Cherry ends up moving it down the field. Now, originally, Cherry was drafted as a tight end, only to realize, oh, wait a minute, they already have a top-tier tight end, and that was I forgot his name. I forgot his first name, but his last name is Andrews. But Andrews, they already had a top-tier tight end in Andrews. So the next best place I could put Cherry was at wide receiver. So
play action. It's Jackson.
Fakes the handoff. Jackson will run it in himself.
Oh, that's just
and Jackson's going to go for a long one. Jackson, 33-yard run. I mean, not much you could have done except just stop him from scoring a touchdown. But, man, that just goes to show how talented Lamar Jackson is. I mean, that's just one thing he does, is that he can run. And it's not like a run when the play breaks down. No, it's a run by design. So that's something that Miami has to be aware of. But now Baltimore is at the 46 past midfield. And 8 yards for Edwards. 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Now a 2nd and 2.
All right. 2nd and 2.
Once more with Edwards. And he's going to
Edwards gets a little bit of yards, but just enough to get a first down.
The pickup, first down.
We always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the gun, it's Jackson.
And Jackson with an incompletion. 2nd and 10 at the 33. I was checking my DMs in case anyone was trying to contact me. All right, so 2nd and 10 at the 33.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
So we have less than 2 minutes to go.
From the gun, Jackson.
And Jackson,
anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Well, he manages to get about a yard, but not very much.
And this is a quarterback who's
now Miami's starting to key in on what Baltimore's going to do.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback.
So for Baltimore, they need this to keep the drive alive, if not score a touchdown. But if you're Miami, this is an opportunity to get a stop.
Wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
And of course, nice stop there.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens.
All right, 3rd and 10.
Look to throw.
And nice deflection, nice contest, because had it not happened, that would have been caught.
From a defensive
4th and 10.
Exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
All right, another field goal for Justin Tucker.
Tucker's kick is good.
And it is good, so it's now 7-6.
So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in this 2nd quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hold. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away.
All right, we'll take it out. And we'll get it to the 22. All right, well, let's see if Miami can get some points before the half.
So Miami coming out for their second drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
And then Patty says, let's go Dolphins.
Setting to throw on first down is Tua.
Tua with a completion and 4 yards. But more important, that an out-of-bounds play to stop the clock. For those who are new, if you complete a pass and the receiver catches it and then goes out of bounds, that stops the clock. All right, 121. Tua. Well, caught at the 30. Well, yeah, caught at the 39 by Waddle, and of course he goes out of bounds to stop the clock again. Great job there by Tua to find the open man and get out of bounds to stop the clock.
Through training camp, OTAs, mini camp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10.
And Tua.
It's Hill.
Okay, I'm not sure why.
Call it no gain there on the first.
Okay, I'm not sure why Tua just threw it like that. What kind of throw was that?
And move them around a bunch, especially your best guys.
I mean, and that could have been bad because that could have been picked off. We saw like on the last show, Atticus is CPU as the quarterback made a pass like that, and it was picked off. Oh, manages to avoid a tackle and get to a first down at the 49. And now they take a timeout, so that's the first timeout they've used, to their credit.
Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Tagovailoa working out of the gun.
And then
into double coverage
and it was intercepted.
By Brandon Stevens. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly
and
long time.
Oh my goodness.
It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. That ball needed to be
that was double covered, and that was not a good throw. And now you get no points for that.
And with a little under a minute to play, they may be looking to pick up some yardage here, maybe try and come up with a
So now Baltimore will start at the 33, and they have all 3 timeouts to their disposal. But that was just not a good pass. So now Baltimore can, try to go for a score of either a touchdown or a field goal. So now it's up to Miami to stop it.
After the interception, here's Jackson.
Jackson gets the open man.
That's Shelton. Now the Ravens,
and that was Dakota. And a timeout used up by the Ravens as they get past midfield at the 44. So far, Dakota has 51 yards on 3 receptions, or catches, if you will.
Jackson on first down.
And Jackson with another completion.
It's Shelton.
And once again gets it to Dakota.
As they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Jackson now.
And well, that time incomplete, but not because of a bad throw. It was just well covered that time.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And Jackson throwing once more.
Isaiah. Well, good to see you there, Isaiah. I wasn't. I hadn't seen you in a while, but I hope everything's going there. That you joined the first live stream? Well, it's good to see you, though. I wasn't sure if you were, if you were gone or if you would come back, but I'm happy that you're back, actually. But, by the way, your guy was in a game earlier as part of the doubleheader in the first game, but this is the second game right now. Another completion, and at the 12. And this time to Cherry.
He got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, Burko?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
First down now, but the clock continues to move. Here's Jackson.
All right, Jackson with a completion. And he doesn't quite get to a touchdown, but Baltimore did have one timeout left to use, and they use it with 9 seconds left. I'll tell you what, though, if Baltimore doesn't get anything on this drive, Miami has momentum.
So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Jackson will throw again.
And a touchdown for the Ravens as they regain the lead. And they got it to Justice Hill. Baltimore takes the lead going into the half.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Justin Tucker for the extra point.
And the extra point is good, so it's 13 to 7.
So this drive spans 7 plays.
Well, of course the game is not over, though, but Miami's going to have to come up with a new game plan going into the second half. They have 6 seconds to go down the field, but it's more likely they'll have to go down the field to get a touchdown, because I don't know if they'll be able to get close enough to get a field goal of any sort unless they have, unless it's, unless of course the half ends on a defensive penalty. Well, they get it to the 20, but they only have 2 seconds left now. So they'll probably have 1 play left to do.
He'll take the knee in the final
well, they'll just take the knee and go to the half. So, at the end of the half, it is 13-7 Baltimore.
So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in everyone to our downtown Orlando studios and this EA Sports Halftime Report. The Ravens were led in that first half by who else? The former MVP Lamar Jackson. He had a touchdown pass in that first half, helping his guys to a halftime advantage.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far.
Well, Miami is going to start with the ball, so they'll have a chance to cut into the lead. I can't even talk. To cut the lead down to 3, or get a touchdown and go ahead by 1, possibly.
Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
On first down,
and a quick pass, and they got it to who else? Your boy TJ Toad. And we got about 9.5 yards on that play. I mean, of course they round to 10 yards, but really I got 9.5 yards more or less. Second and inches is up now at the 35.
Tua going to tap this forward on the jet sweep.
And a jet sweep that still remains 3rd and inches.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
Great job by the defense to anticipate a jet sweep, and they made it a no gain. But they got to get this one to the Dolphins. I mean, of course, Baltimore would love to stop it and get a 3 and out.
Tagovailoa going to try and throw on third down.
And this time they get the first down, and they get past midfield at the 47. And they got it to who else? Tyreek Hill.
This was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. On first
they hand it off, but
Mostert
only gets 2 yards.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd and 8. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
Oh, good job there by TJ, and gets it to 3rd and 1. I'm sorry if I'm doing bad. Well, it's not your fault. I mean, you're just one man. But the thing is, Baltimore, to their credit, as far as their offensive line, they're doing a good job keeping you from getting to Lamar Jackson. But really, though, it was Monty Mulshawn that drafted Switch Gaming as the center, the guy who, the primary guy that has kept you from getting to Lamar Jackson. But unfortunately, Miami does not get a first down. They're at 4th and 1, and it looks like they're going to go for a field goal. Oh, no, wait a minute. They're not going to go for a field goal. They're going to go for it. Oh, let's see if they get it. And no, they don't. Not only do they not get it, Baltimore takes over. Man, Miami just, ever since getting that first touchdown, they haven't been able to get anything going. I mean, sure, they would get down the field, but they just couldn't convert. Got to give credit to Baltimore's defense, though.
The longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. Jackson.
Jackson.
Looking middle, and that's complete.
Jackson with a completion of about 9.5 yards to who else? Monty Molcherry, Cherry Moy. But you also have to give credit to Baltimore's receiving core of Dakota and Cherry. I mean, if those two don't step up, it's very likely that Miami. Wow, and they can't stop him. They can't get him. Wow, Lamar Jackson just. I mean, but let's not let's not get it twisted though. You know, Lamar Jackson, he does that to everybody, even the best, even some of the best defenses. He does that. He always does that to just about every defense that goes up against him.
This guy is simply sensational.
Jackson and the Ravens still on the field. They'll go for 2.
Oh, but they're going to go for a 2-pointer. They'll run it, and they get the 2-point conversion. All right. Well, now it gets to a conventional score of 21-7. So now Miami is going to have to score 2 touchdowns. There's just no getting around that.
How do they play run versus pass?
It's really difficult for them because I think most teams want to play for the pass. That's what they see most teams do. And so are you able to mass enough people inside if the team decides to run it? Very difficult. I think what you're seeing a lot more now, people blitzing the 2-point conversion. They want you to make a quick decision and make it right now.
There, the offense wins the battle for 2. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Well, Miami's going to have to score 2 touchdowns if they're going to have any chance.
And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked.
Well, they get to the 21 though. I mean, at this point, if you're Baltimore, you just have to stop them. If not, slow them down considerably. If you're Miami, you got to come up with. You just take what the defense gives you, and if they give you a lot, then you take a lot. But you got to get it done and get it done quick.
That's telling you as a defense,
which of course is easier said than done.
And when you actually do, that may put a little dent in the confidence of the offense the next time they hit the field.
Yeah, we'll see if they can bring that pride, the offense, this go around.
It's not impossible by any stretch. We have seen, 14-point leads evaporate. Although, wait a minute, he gets an open lane. Well, ended up getting tripped up, but that's a huge run. He gets all the way to the 39 past the midfield and goes out of bounds to stop the clock. That's a great run.
That one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look,
I mean, if they don't cause him to trip up, he probably gets a touchdown. Well, Miami's now cooking, but now can they finish the job? There you see Gregory Blakely, a.k.a. Dragonheart, number 78.
Tua gonna throw.
Tua gets it to. Well, he gets it to me. I catch it, but what's the flag for? A face mask against the defense. That's a bad penalty, and that was by Patrick Queen of Baltimore. And not only and that's bad because now that puts them. That's going to put the Dolphins at the 15. And whenever there's a defensive penalty, that stops the clock. So now that's going to give Miami a little chance to breathe and a little chance to think. So now Miami is in prime position to score. But the question is, can they? That's the million-dollar question. They hand it off, but right now, it's becoming increasingly clear that Baltimore is keyed on the run, so they're going to have to. So if you're Miami, you got to, mix in some more passes because if all you do is run, eventually you're not going to be able to get anything. You'll just be stopped. If not, you'll lose yardage. So anyway, 2nd and 9.
In motion left, Hill. Now a fake on the jet sweep and a give.
Although this time they get more yards, but it's still 3rd and 5.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked.
And a completion, and they get just enough for a first down at the 3.
Have first down yardage. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Going to the air, Tagovailoa.
Tua throws it away, but we get a flag.
This might be a roughing call.
And that's against the defense for, I believe that's roughing the passer. And that was by Monty Molshan. And what that does is, yeah, it gets him closer, but the more important thing is that it gives him a fresh set of downs to work with. And it stops the clock, too.
But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent.
But if you're Miami, you got to get a touchdown. You're not going to win with field goals, not at this point. They hand it off, and they run it in.
Into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Raheem Mostert.
And Mostert gets his 2nd rushing touchdown, and that will cut the lead, should they make this extra point, down to 7.
I know his team's happy, his coaches are happy. How about the fantasy owners of this game?
Always happy with 2, but they'd like 3 or 4. Extra point attempt to follow here. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Raheem Mostert. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away.
All right, so I took a little breather, but I'm back. And Baltimore.
And not much happening on the return.
Nice return there by Cherry. So not only is Cherry a wide receiver, but she's also a kick returner as well. But now at 2 seconds, we still have 2 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. We still got one more quarter to go.
At the line, set to get going. Pretty important 3rd quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown.
And a completion.
This small lead.
And they lose yards. They lost 1 yard as we go to the end of the quarter. And at the end, it is 21-14 Baltimore.
Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the 4th. Second and 11.
They get it to Edwards, and that's a no gain. Well, it looks like Miami's starting to key in on the running patterns of Baltimore. Well, now if you're Baltimore, you got to come up with something. You either have to pass or come up with a better way to get a running lane for a run play. But more importantly for Miami, if they can get this stop here, they'll get the ball back and they'll have a chance to tie this game up.
Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is
third and 11. This very big play for Miami here. And instead, a completion.
His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down.
To Odell Beckham Jr. And so now instead of possibly instead of getting the ball back, Odell Beckham came up with a huge play to keep the drive alive. I mean, that is a clutch play by Baltimore, because that keeps the ball in their possession.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson.
And Jackson, well, he threw it away. Incomplete.
When you're in a one-score game in the second half, now's not the time to force the football in the places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson to throw.
Jackson. What? Got away from one tackle.
And he'll go down right around
and gets a 3rd and inches. Oh, for a moment I thought Jackson was caught, but that just goes to show, Jackson has Lamar Jackson has a great ability to be able to slip through the tackles and get more yards, and which in turn extend drives. That's just one of the things that he does. Just when you think you have him, you don't. Wait, did he? Oh, he extended it and got a first down, barely.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
I mean, that's just the thing that, Jackson does. He doesn't just, pass. He can run. And he can run by design, man. That's what makes Baltimore like a top contender ever since they got Jackson and drafted him. And ever since they put him in the starting lineup, Baltimore has been a top contender. The only team that they haven't been able to, well, the 2 teams they haven't been able to beat are
Jackson taps this forward jet sweep. He's across midfield and into Miami territory.
Are Kansas City
That's a nice job there defensively.
and Buffalo. Those are the 2 teams that they've had trouble getting past. Anyway, a 5-yard gain by Dakota Sheldon.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down.
2nd and 5. Can they get a stop?
Jackson options out.
Although Jackson gets it to 3rd and 6. Well, now we got to the 2-minute warning. It is still 21-14 Baltimore, but time is running short.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, here's Edwards.
And, well, they went for a run, and they get stuffed. They didn't even get anything. And, of course, they use a timeout. But the important thing is that Miami finally got the stop with a minute 57, and they have 2 timeouts to use.
Out now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt.
First time that Baltimore had to punt.
And this one will not be returned.
And that was, I mean, it could have been a better punt as far as Baltimore was concerned, but it could have been worse. Well, for Baltimore, that is. So Miami's going to start at the 26. So they have a minute 52 to work with to get down the field. A touchdown and an extra point will tie it. A field goal will not do them any good. You got to get a touchdown. There's just no other way.
Here's Tua.
Tua, and he got it second in inches.
They absolutely have to rush right now, but they definitely have to pick up the tempo a bit.
They got it to Jalen Waddle, but they gotta start running some plays, man.
They'll come up now on second down. Now
Tua, and Tua got caught, and they had to use a timeout there. And Tua just, I mean, give credit, again, you got to give credit to Baltimore. You know, Tua was trying to find somebody, he couldn't, and then when he tried to run, you also have to give the one of the defensive linemen credit for making the tackle when they did. But now it's 3rd and 3 at the 33.
Throwing
Tua, ooh, almost got picked off.
Probably should have been. Had he caught it, it would have.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, of course you have to blame the game for that. I'm just hoping that when I get the PS5 version that they improved the gameplay as far as the CPU is concerned. I can only hope. But as far as Baltimore is concerned, they're doing exactly what they need to do. Now, they got to get this. There's no other way. Achane gets the first down, and he gets a whole lot more! And finally forced out of bounds to stop the clock. But Achane, not only does he get a first down, he gets a whole lot of yards, and they have a minute 15 to work with.
Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us.
Oh, man. I mean, if the secondary for Baltimore doesn't get there to stop Achane, that's a touchdown.
Just the one timeout remaining as they try to navigate this 2-minute drill. 1st and 10. Here's Tua.
All right, Tua. Well, threw it away.
Incomplete.
Limited time left on
well,
the clock
I mean, of course you lose it down, but at least it stops the clock, though.
Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Tagovailoa. That'll be caught by Hill. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying.
Why did he throw it away? He threw it away because if he didn't, he would have gotten sacked and he would have lost yards, and then that would have undone everything. So that's why he threw. That's why he had to throw it away. Better to throw it away than throw an interception, and then Baltimore can just run out the clock. Tua? Oh, he almost couldn't hold on to it. Couldn't hold on to it. But now it's 4th and 3. Once again, they got to get this first down.
This one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? He might be a quarterback, especially, you know, by the time we get to Madden 26, you know, now you're dealing with a post-concussion Tua. This is a pre-concussion Tua, by the way. So yeah, if it's tied, it does go into overtime. Yep, absolutely. But they got to get this though. And wait, did they get it? They did not get it. Brandon, Mario Party Brandon made a big stop, and they turned it over. Oh my gosh! I mean, if you're gonna run away from the pile, not into the pile. Damn it! But on the other hand, if you're Baltimore, if they played right into your hands. But take nothing away from the Dolphins. They made it to the second round.
Not so far in this game.
And we'll see what AJ does next season as far as the Miami Dolphins are concerned.
The Ravens taking a
Well, of course, Miami will use their last timeout, but that's only going to delay the inevitable. But yeah, GG's indeed.
Just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Down to a knee goes Jackson,
all right.
And that should seal it.
Well,
listen, anytime you take
well, you know what? You got to give credit to the Ravens. They did what they had to do.
But there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd,
Well, I mean, I could talk like for a
seen.
little bit, but that's about it, though. It's all good, though, AJ. I'll talk with you. Well, that's the end of the game, and Baltimore holds on to win.
In this Baltimore victory, and they were spurred on by a strong performance.
So for the Ravens, they continue. They move on to the semifinals.
That tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close,
And
the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the top.
so now the semifinal matchups are set. It's going to be the New Orleans Saints at the Chiefs against the New Orleans Saints at the New Orleans Saints at the Chiefs, and the San Francisco 49ers at the Baltimore Ravens. Yeah, you guys tried. It's just, unfortunately, you know, it was just unfortunate that the Dolphins just could not get enough plays. But you also have to credit, you know, Baltimore's defense, because at the end of the day, they're the ones that made the plays, and they made just enough to win. And you have to also credit Lamar Jackson for just an incredible game on his end. Because if he doesn't have that game, does Lamar Jackson, you know, we could be seeing a different outcome. We really could have. Anyway, we'll look at the stats really quickly. So yeah, Lamar Jackson without a doubt had the better game. Even though Tua had more passing yards, and even though he had a higher completion percentage, the touchdown to interception ratio is in Lamar Jackson's favor. So Mostert had the most runs, and then Lamar Jackson had the most yards, and then Achane had the most yards, the highest average yards per carry. I can't talk. Yep, you win some, you lose some. But, I mean, at least you beat, you know, Azriel and his team, so I suppose, I mean, but then again, they could have probably just as easily had a much worse time against the Ravens. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I mean, because with this game, you never know. Mostert had 2 touchdowns, but it was that rushing touchdown that Lamar Jackson did that proved to be the difference. Because if he doesn't make that touchdown, there's every chance that, you know, the Dolphins probably would have won. But we'll never know. That was the best game. Oh, well, I'm not going to fire you. I will not fire you. Not like that, anyway. So Tyreek Hill had the most receptions and had the most yards. But it was a tie between Odell Beckham Jr. and Dakota. Oh, so really Dakota had the better game between the two. And Justice Hill had the touchdown reception. So we got that. Of course, Morgan Moses and Connor Williams each gave up a sack. David Long Jr. had the most tackles, and both David Long Jr. and Jerome Baker had the most tackles for loss. And then Broderick Washington had a sack, and Zach Sealer had a sack. And then, of course, really Brandon Stevens, his interception changed the course of the game, because if he doesn't make that interception, there's every chance that Miami would have gotten ahead, and whether they would have stayed ahead, we'll never know. And then, of course, Justin Tucker doing Justin Tucker things. Patty Chase had 2 extra points, which, she did her job. And the best part was Patty didn't have to punt the ball. So, pretty standard game. Pretty good game. But the Ravens move on. So the top 2 seeds make it to the semifinals. And of course, those 2 top seeds will face off against the middle 2 teams that are still in the game. So we'll have to find out if the New Orleans Saints have what it takes. And the same could be said for the San Francisco. Well, actually, San Francisco and Baltimore, that's going to be a very close game. If anything, it's New Orleans that's going to have to prove, or that's going to have to come up with a big upset. They're going to have to make the plays. They're going to have to outplay the Chiefs. And they have to play a perfect game. Because the Chiefs, they only have to play at 75% strength, and they'd still win. So if you're the Saints, you got to come up with basically you got to do it all. That's all I'm trying to get at. Good water though. I'm happy I had some water with me. All right. Well, I'm gonna save here, but yeah, not tomorrow. Saturday is going to be the NHL draft, so I'm going to send the general managers the list of players that they can draft, and of course on the day of the draft I'll be more than helpful to I'll be more than happy to help with what each team needs and go from there. But until that time, this is the Blue Toad to Jew 22 signing off, saying goodbye, and I will see you guys. I'll see you guys on Saturday at least. Though if time permits, I might do something tomorrow, but we'll see. But yeah, on Saturday definitely stay tuned for that. Until then, have a good night, everybody. Oh, thank you, Patty. All right. Yep, take care. Take care, y'all.